rounding numbers to different places. In this lesson, you will learn how can we round a number to different places using a chart? How do we round again? Find the place you're rounding to. Look next door for what to do. For the digits 5 through 9, round the number up the line. For the digits 0 through 4, round it down, do nothing more. Round up 5 through 9, round down 0 through 4. Rounding numbers is so easy. We've already practiced how to round to the nearest tens place and the nearest hundreds place. That's right. Sometimes you'll need to round a number to more than one place. When we do this, it's usually easiest to make a chart to kind of keep it all organized. On the left, I'll write the number that I'm going to round. In the middle column, I'll round it to its nearest tens place. And in the right column, I'll round it to its nearest hundreds place. Well, let's start by rounding the number 75 to the nearest tens place. So my number is 75. And we're rounding to the nearest tens place. So we're going to circle the digit in the tens place. I look next door. I see a 5. So that means that this 7 is going to round up to an 8. And everything to the right becomes a 0. 75 rounds to 80. Now we're going to round 75 to the nearest hundreds place. Now this can be kind of confusing because there's no digit in the hundreds place. So if there's nothing there, that's the same thing as there being 0 there. So now we can circle the digit we're rounding to, and we're circling the hundreds place. Look to the right to see what to do. I see a 7, so I know I'm going to round the 0 up to a 1. And everything to the right becomes a 0. So I know that 75 rounds up to 100 when we round it to the nearest hundreds place. The next number we're going to round is the number 183. Let's start by rounding it to the nearest tens place. So 183. Well, first I circle the place I'm rounding to, the tens place. I look to the right to see what to do, and I see a 3, so that means I'm going to round down. So I know that 8 is going to stay the same. Everything to the left stays the same, and everything to the right becomes a 0. So when rounding to the nearest tens place, 183 is closest to 180. Now let's round 183 to the nearest hundreds place. So let's circle the place we're rounding to. Look next door for what to do. I see an 8, so I know that 1 is going to round up to a 2. Everything to the right becomes a 0. I know that 183 rounds to 200 when rounding to the nearest hundreds place. And finally, we have the number 994. Let's round it to the nearest tens place first. So first I circle the place I'm rounding to, the tens place. I look next door for what to do, and I see a 4. So that means I round down. And when we round down, we know that that digit just stays the same. So the 9 is going to stay the same. The digit to the left will stay the same. And the place to the right will become a 0. So 994 rounds down to 990. When we round 994 to the nearest hundreds place, we first circle the hundreds place. We look to the right to see what to do. We see a 9 next door, so we know we'll have to round up. The 9 rounds up to a 10, and everything to the right becomes a 0. So we know that 994 rounds up to 1,000 when we round it to the nearest hundreds place. In this lesson, you learned how to round a number to different places using a chart.